All right, what's up, World Cup fans? So we are 2 games in, and I should have done this before, but I'm using some artificial intelligence via, I think, Microsoft or Copilot, whatever that is, and ran a bunch of statistics and based on group stage results. Anyways, we're looking for the most likely round of 32 upsets. So, according to artificial intelligence, number one would be Morocco over Netherlands. This comes as no surprise. A lot of people have had trouble picking this game. I think it's pretty close to 50-50, but Netherlands is favored. So, number one upset would be Morocco over Netherlands. Morocco does have good World Cup history. They've tied Brazil for their group win. Same with Netherlands, with Japan. I think Brazil winning over Japan may show that group might be more powerful. So this is not out of the realm of possibility, but it says Morocco has a 40% chance to advance. That's number one. Number two, Norway over Ivory Coast. That doesn't seem like an upset, but I guess it is. That's weird. So this has Ivory Coast winning. I projected this as one of my upsets, but I thought Ivory Coast would be the upset. So I guess betting on Ivory Coast might be a good one, but Norway showed some rough defense against France, so maybe Ivory Coast looked better against Germany. Anyways, Norway's roster exceeds... Okay. Elite attack. So this is why Norway could win. But this has Norway has 38% chance of moving on. Ivory Coast 62. Next, Croatia over Portugal. Wow. Upset probability 35%. Croatia good in knockout tournaments in recent years, obviously. And so Portugal is 65%. Yikes. All right, I'll maybe at the end here I'll punch in the top 5 and see what the bracket would look like. Canada already won. This is stupid. Okay. Egypt over Australia. I don't know that is an upset either, but okay. It kind of gives me some info as to a game I was going to have trouble predicting. But Australia is favored in that. That's weird. Okay, let's try to get back on track here. Third place teams most likely to have a shot. Senegal, 30%. Okay. Sweden... This keeps picking Sweden, y'all, and 18%. There's no way I'm picking Sweden to beat France. Sorry, I mean, I know they tied Japan, but yikes. DR Congo, England is 20%. Whoa, all right. Matchups least likely to produce an upset. France. Okay, so let's base our results on this. So the 8 that we will not see an upset: France, England, USA, Germany, Mexico, Switzerland. So Switzerland, Mexico, Germany, USA, England, and France all going through. And bracket busters: Morocco, Norway, Croatia, Senegal, Canada, Sweden, Egypt, Ghana. Most likely round of 32 surprise, Morocco. Yikes. Okay. So, I guess let's take this to the bracket since it only mentioned a few. It did not say anything about Germany. I cannot pick Sweden. That was 18%. It has Morocco moving through. Ivory Coast is favored. I think that's more of the upset. The fact that it was thinking Ivory Coast is favored. It didn't even mention Mexico, Ecuador. DR Congo at 20%. I will ask it here. Hold on. Okay, USA, it said, okay, let's ask it about Belgium, Senegal. It had Croatia in an upset. What other ones did it have? And it had Australia as favorites. So I'm using just AI to pick this bracket. All right. So let's ask it about Mexico, Ecuador, Belgium, Senegal, Spain, and Algeria, and chances for Cape Verde, I guess, and Ghana, Colombia. Okay, one sec. Okay, so put in every game with the ones that we didn't see already. Switzerland, Algeria, upset case 26%, only 2 stars. So we'll move Switzerland forward. Belgium, Senegal, 32% for Senegal, upset rating 4 stars. Leave that one still in there. Argentina, Cape Verde, only 12%. Argentina is going through 1 star. England, DR Congo, 20%, 3 star. Let's just do it for the heck of it. Mexico, Ecuador, 72%, 3 star. I don't know about that. 22. So I guess we'll move Ecuador since if we're moving DR Congo for an upset bracket. Ghana, 31%. That 4 star. That would be a shocker for sure. Spain, Austria, 22 star. We'll move all the 3 stars forward. And Paraguay, okay. Paraguay, Germany, France, Sweden, no. Most likely upsets. Okay, we've got Senegal, Ghana, Ecuador, Algeria. Are those all 3 stars? Okay. Sweden, no. So France goes through, Germany goes through, Spain goes through, Ghana goes through, Ecuador goes through, DR Congo goes through, Argentina, Senegal, Switzerland. Okay, this is the upset bracket. I'm just off of AI. So we've got Germany, Paraguay, okay, Morocco, AI already picked, Ivory Coast, AI picked, Ecuador, AI picked as an upset. This is just for fun, y'all. DR Congo, it picked as an upset. Senegal, it picked as an upset. Croatia had already picked. Spain, it said nope. All right, hold on. Okay, so in our weird AI upset potential picks, we've got Australia, Ghana, Argentina, Switzerland, Spain, Croatia, Senegal, US, Ecuador, DR Congo, Ivory Coast, Brazil, Canada, Morocco, and France, Germany. All right, let me put those all in and see what we'll get next from AI. Okay, so the AI upset model is getting a little wonky. Again, this is just for fun, not my projections. Based on the matchups we just picked, it thinks that Canada would be the most likely upset favorite over Morocco, who is already the #1 upset favorite. Then Senegal, then Croatia over Spain, then Germany over France, then Switzerland over Argentina. We're getting into the least likely now. Australia beating Ghana, they consider would be an upset. Ivory Coast over Brazil, and DR Congo over Ecuador. So let's see what the chances. So Canada 42, we'll move them through just for the heck of it. Senegal at 38, we'll move them through. So Canada and Senegal. Croatia over Spain at 38%. Upset grade A. Upset grade A. Upset grade A. All right, I might just go with the A's. Germany over France, 38%. Jeez. Okay, let's do that. And then B we'll leave off. Okay, so we've got Ghana, Brazil, Ecuador. Okay, Ecuador, Brazil, Ghana, and Argentina go through. And then Germany, Croatia, Senegal, and Canada make the upsets. Okay. So Ghana was not likely to be upset against Australia. Argentina was not likely to be upset by Switzerland. Croatia was likely to upset Spain. Senegal was likely to upset the US. Ecuador was not likely to be upset by DR Congo. Brazil was not likely to be upset by Ivory Coast. And then the real craziness starts because Canada would upset Morocco and Germany would upset France, leaving us with Germany, Canada, Brazil, Ecuador, Senegal, Croatia, Argentina, Ghana. Oh boy, AI. All right, we'll run the last rounds. All right, so assuming the quarterfinal field is Germany, Canada, Brazil, Ecuador, Senegal, Croatia, Argentina, Ghana, which will not happen. Germany's at 74%, so we'll go ahead and move them through. Brazil is at 80%, so Germany, Brazil. Croatia barely over Senegal. And Argentina. All right, so Argentina, Croatia, Brazil, Germany. All right, so using the initial AI upsets in round 32 and group of 16, and then going with favorites after, our final four would be Argentina and Croatia, strictly based on AI, and Germany, Brazil. With that being our final four, semifinal one would be a slight edge to Brazil, 52% to 48%. Wow. Most likely scenarios: Brazil 2-1, Germany 1-0, tie, Brazil wins on PKs. Wow. So Brazil slight edge, and then Argentina. All right, so Brazil, Argentina in the finals. Ended up being kind of the same, but all right. And most likely final, Argentina, Brazil, with the edge going to Argentina. So, all right, that's what AI thinks will happen if there are a lot of upsets. Argentina to beat Brazil in the final. And then it looks like Germany probably is the third place game over Croatia. All right. Hope that was enjoyable. I'll try to keep doing more, but again, this was not what I really think, just a projection based on this funny AI tool. Thanks.